Alright, the Wi-Fi here is freaking horrible, so I am going to attempt to get this done, all 10 minutes of it. So the question was how to find distressed properties. I think that's the topic for today. Let's talk about what distressed properties means. To me, what distressed properties might mean to you. So, what you might think a distressed property means is that the beach is right behind me. That looks nice, but you know, I get a really good feel for it. Okay. You probably think a distressed property means a property that's like falling apart, right? I look at it as distressed properties. I don't really call them distressed properties, right? Because the problem with oh, wait a second, I didn't even introduce. Welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses in New York. Or if you're already doing how to grow your business, I'm sorry, I don't do that all the time. So I don't necessarily only buy distressed properties, right? I buy properties at a discount. And the way I buy properties at a discount is there's usually a problem either with the property, so it might be a really distressed, crappy property, or there might be a problem, that sun is killing me, or it might be a problem with the owner situation, right? The property might be fine. You're looking at my shorts hanging over there. Okay. But he's in some kind, and it may not be distress, right? It may be a situation where the owner just understands that because of the condition of the property or something to do with the municipalities, let's say an open permit or an open violation, or his situation, maybe he lives far away and doesn't want to deal with a lot of the bullshit that goes on with listing a property, he is willing to sell the property at a discount. Really, I don't really say I buy distressed properties. I say I buy discounted properties, right? And people go, why would anybody sell a property to you at a discount? And there are a lot of reasons, right? So, I mean, some of the obvious reasons. There's a time reason, right? Maybe they need to close fast. More likely they need to close slow, right? They don't want to be on a buyer's timeline. They may have no place to go. So they want to buy from someone who can wait for them. There could be a condition reason, right? That's the most obvious one. The property's in horrible condition. They feel that whoever they sell it to is going to ask them to make repairs. They don't have the money to make repairs. That's it. It can be a condition situation that there's an illegal unit or there are tenants that don't want to leave. That's part of the condition. Those are reasons why I buy. What else? There is sometimes there's a compelling reason, right? They need to bail out their son, and they need to immediately. The house is been vacant for 4 years and it's costing them money. There's things like that happen all the time. So I don't say I buy distressed properties. I say I buy discounted properties. Now, if you want to find distressed properties, really, I think the best way is to do simple driving for dollars. So driving for dollars means you drive around an area and you make a note of the properties that look like crap, right? They look distressed. They look terrible. And a couple of things with that. Number one is you should be able to do research on your local county clerk's website before you try to find the owner and send them a letter. So you want to look on the county's website and you want to look for one of four things that would make it, in my opinion, not worth my time, but it may still be worth your time. So the first is you want to look for if it's bank owned, right? Did the bank take possession of it? In which case it's usually not a deal anymore because the bank's going to try to squeeze every dollar out of it that they can. You then want to see, that's number one. Number two is you want to see if it's investor owned. So that's not a deal anymore because some investor has it already. You know, it's possible that the investor will try to sell it to you this kind of, anything's possible. It's possible that the bank will sell it to you this kind of, it's possible. But for me, it's very unlikely, especially in New York. The third thing is that it's way underwater, so it's got like a list pendants from 12 years ago. So it's been in foreclosure for 12 years. And it's been in foreclosure for 12 years. And there's just a tremendous amount owed on it relative to what you can pay. So if that happens, it's not worth it for me. Now, can you go and try and get a short sale done? For sure. You can. It can work. Right? For me, I don't want to go down that path because first of all, you have to find the owner and then you have to convince the owner to sell it to you, and then they usually want some money, and then you got to find the lender to sell it to you at the price you want. To me, it's too many levels. Now, again, it might be something you want to do. It's not something I want to do. The fourth is that it's a reverse mortgage. So if you see lenders like Financial Freedom or lenders like that, it becomes a very difficult situation because usually that means the borrower is dead and you don't know what the balance is because the balance it shows has nothing to do with what is actually owed. So just a quick primer on reverse mortgages, even though this is not about reverse mortgages. The way I know reverse mortgages, I did them for many years, is that the reverse mortgage used to get, we used to record 150%, 150% of what the maximum allowed to the borrower. So if a borrower was allowed to get $400,000, we'd record a mortgage for $600,000. Now, that doesn't answer any question about what the balance owed, because sometimes the borrower would take nothing or take minimal amounts of money, $20,000, so the balance could be much less. Sometimes a lot of times the borrower is maxed out, and if the borrower's maxed out and haven't made payments in a long time, the interest has been accruing on interest. So instead of being $600,000, they may owe $1 million. Or it might say $600,000 and they owe $100,000. So you don't know. And for me, that's too much work. Now, you may still want to do that. You may still want to try to find the heirs and go through that. I'm not doing that. So I would advise you, on any driving for dollars, looking for distressed properties, go through the county clerk's office. Almost every county, if my county, which is bad, really bad with really bad with public information. My county gives you all the information. Nassau County, New York, shows you everything. And Suffolk can give you some things, but you got to pay more to see the documents. But New York City, you can see everything. So these are places where public information is tough to come by. I'm sure wherever you are, your county clerk can probably show you what was recorded over the last 30 or 40 years. So you want to do that research first when you find a distressed property and see if it's something worth pursuing. Now, are there other ways to find distressed properties? Sure. Now, if you want to say just distressed properties, I personally think you should take the words distressed properties out of your vocabulary. You're looking for discounted properties. You're looking for properties where you can buy them at enough of a discount to make money on them. I bought a lot of properties that were in decent condition or good condition at a significant discount. And people who don't really understand what we do say, well, how is that possible? But it happens all the time. For some of the other reasons, it could be a time reason. It could be maybe it had an issue with the municipality. Maybe it's got unpermitted additions. Maybe it's got violations or things. And I was able to fix those things up and take care of them. And I can make money on it. So it's really just a matter of finding discounted properties. It doesn't matter if it's distressed. It's better if it's not distressed. I prefer buying properties that are not distressed. If they're really distressed, I'm going to try and wholesale them, right? Because I don't like doing a lot of construction. I did that for the first 4 years out in this business, and I don't want to do construction, massive construction anymore. I'll do minimal construction. But that's my opinion. Maybe you want to do major renovations. That's your opinion. But for me, take out the word distressed properties out of your vocabulary, and you're just looking for discounted properties. And you're looking for very often just reasonable owners, not owners who, when you start in this business, you think you're going to buy a list, you're going to skip trace the list, all those numbers are going to be right, or most of them. People get into the phone and they're going to say something like, I need to sell this house in the next 24 hours, I don't care what price it is. No one says that, right? That doesn't happen, right? Everybody's got a number in mind. Usually there's something they owe, usually there's a number that they want, and they you just need somebody reasonable that understands that as an investor. And I'll say to them, listen, if you want to max out every dollar, you should list this property, right? You're going to sell it to me. It's going to be at a discount, and I'm going to provide you with certainty and convenience. My price is going to be the price. It's not going to change. I'll close whenever you want. You don't have to show it 100 times, right? Maybe once or twice. And that's what you're going to pay for. You're going to pay for that, right? And you can leave all the stuff here. You don't have to clean it out. That is the convenience that I provide. And people will pay for it. People will give up money for that. And if you think about it, we're not taking advantage of anybody. It's the same thing like when you go into Starbucks and pay $8 for a cup of coffee, right? That cup of coffee costs Starbucks 4 cents, 14 cents. So what are you doing? You're paying for the certainty and convenience of knowing it's there. You don't want to buy the beans. You don't want to grind the beans. You don't want to froth the milk. You don't want to get the ice. You don't want to blend that crap. You don't want to buy stirrers. You don't want to buy cups. And you're willing to pay an exorbitant amount of money for that, right? $7 in profit, $7.50 in profit. You're willing to do that for the certain, and that's how every single transaction, if you think about it, works. Everything. It all works the same way. We pay money or give up money for certainty and convenience. And that's it. Sorry. That's what we do. I don't think I'm connected. I don't know. This Wi-Fi here sucks crap. So I hope this was helpful. That's how I would find distressed properties. I'd drive for dollars if I could. Just to know that in areas with driving for dollars, under $100,000, you're going to need like 600 properties to get a deal. In areas like where I am, where the property values are over $500,000, studies have shown you need about 1,200 properties to get a deal. So understand that there's a lot of it, and please do the research I told you first. It'll save you a tremendous amount of money. Just skip tracing and contacting and mailing people who are not going to be able to sell you the property. So I hope this was helpful. If you want all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my course that teaches how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, just finding out more about it, you can go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. Please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I'm posting from Cabo San Lucas in Mexico right now, and I don't know what to say half the time, so your comments really help me. Any comment is good. There's no bad comments. It doesn't even have to be on the video you're watching. If you want to ask a question, simple answer, I'll reply. If it's something I've covered before, I'll send you links to the videos. And if it's something new, I'll do a new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I'd really appreciate it.